What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dirty Shore Underground podcast bonus episode, Fear the Walking Dead. Episode 5, Season 2. Before we get into it, Rob.
Episode 6, Season 2.
No, that was 5.
Telling you it was
I'm pretty
episode
sure
6.
that was 5.
You have a really hard time keeping track of the episodes. Go ahead and look it up. What you can do is, if you want to keep track of the episodes, go to DirtyShoreUnderground.com, where you can find new episodes of the podcast every Thursday, bonus episodes every Monday or Tuesday. You can also find links to all our full episodes on there, as well as a bunch of other stuff, information, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you're also following at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's the easiest way to stay up to date with what's going on with us, including all the other stuff that we have going on. And of course, you'll tweet out the live stream to the podcast. We live stream this and every episode at youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. So just go ahead and scroll on down there in the live stream. There's a section that says live comments. You can type in your comments and questions there. They'll pop up on the right-hand side of the screen over there. And you can actually be a participant in the podcast, be part of the show here with us, and just play along with us at home. So, as always, we'll give our spoiler alert warning. We are going to be discussing Season 2, Episode 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. We'll be discussing all of the previous episodes, probably the first season, as well as some of the other episodes of The Walking Dead, most likely, especially Season 2 of The Walking Dead, and the companion comics
Son of a bitch.
as well. Was it Episode 6?
Yes.
Oh, don't ever question me! And in fact, just a big shout out to Flash, Superfan Flash from Anthem Alliance podcast. New episodes of that podcast available at otheanthem.com every Friday. Make sure you are joining the Alliance and checking that out at otheanthem.com. Flash during the show was tweeting me about being a nerd, and then I have a different kind of nerdom. I have a humanities nerdom. You don't know about science. You don't know about science fiction. Come at me, brah. Anyway, so spoiler warning, we're going to start the show now. If you haven't seen this episode, hit pause now, go watch the episode, come on back, because we are starting in 3, 2, 1, go. So, where do you want to begin? Let's begin with the, what I like to call the Rob review, which is, if you've missed the first 10 minutes of the show, what happened? Because, once again, I missed the first 10 minutes of the show.
Safe passage wasn't safe passage. Miguel was shot. Coin thing flipped off the boat.
Boat was boarded by, Border Patrol.
It was the people that he was paying for safe passage in
Right.
Mexico.
Yeah.
So, that didn't go over real well.
They were questioning about why the boat was so big for 2 people. It was going to cost them 2 gold bars a piece. Or 1 gold bar a piece.
1 gold bar per person.
So when we saw everybody hiding at the preview for last week, that was them hiding while Border Patrol was on the boat.
They wanted to search the boat and make sure there was no infected.
Right. And so they flipped a coin off, and something happened to Miguel, that was my understanding.
He died.
So Miguel died, unfortunately. And what was... Later in the episode, Nick says that Miguel said something to him about Cecilia. What is it that he said?
It was whispered.
Yeah, and so we didn't hear it?
No.
So that was the first mention that we had of it when he...
We
don't know what the relationship
something was
is.
said, but
Daniel was going to kill the one dude. Was that Miguel that he was going to kill? When the guy whispered to him, I think it was Miguel. I'm not 100% sure.
Huh. Wait, so that's our wrap up of the first couple.
Luis, there you go, Luis.
Luis, yes. Yeah, I was saying Miguel. I think I meant Luis.
There was a Miguel that was mentioned, but I don't remember.
Yeah. So Luis was on the boat. Luis is the one that got shot. Nick listened to Luis. Anyway, Luis was there with Strand on the boat. So,
then after that, we get to the church, and it was, I guess, mass genocide.
Right.
That's what you're.
And I walked in as they were walking up the hill and came upon the church. So, Gotham guy says Daniel was going to knife Luis in the head, and Luis said, "No, bring him to Madre and give the coin to Madre." But Daniel flipped the coin off the side of the boat instead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking douche. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So, but Daniel got his later on in the episode. So, where do you want to start talking about this? I mean, there's a lot happened this episode. We lost a lot of people.
Yeah, we did. It was a slow building episode.
But yeah, I gotta say that not slow in the way that the season has been slow before.
Mm-hmm. It was just the action was down, but you could tell there was tight tensions, especially with the boy,
Chris.
Chris.
So let's start with Chris, because there was a lot of stuff. It wasn't slow like episodes 1 through 3, kind of 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
It was slow building in the way that we like The Walking Dead to be slow building, like tension and stuff's going on and we're trying to figure it out. Not like, all right, let's get where we're going. What are we doing? So I think that's good that they're picking up. But Chris, kind of a bit of a psycho, if I do say so myself. Yeah, what's the deal with Chris?
Just puts the lotion on the skin.
Yeah, so.
Or else to get the hose again.
So what are your thoughts about Chris?
I think Chris is gonna end up dead, to be honest with you.
Well, so I must have missed something about what happened on the boat with Madison. Did something go down with him and Madison? Was that from
I don't
last
think it was
episode?
in the house, actually.
Okay, because I must have missed
supposedly
something.
he watched somebody die or somebody get hurt or.
Well, no, so when
He was gonna watch the mother get killed.
There you go.
Zombie.
And
when-
then
I was gonna say when they were in the courtyard, the one zombie tackled Madison, and Chris just kind of stood there and watched. But apparently something had been said beforehand. I'm not sure what.
Chris shot the one dude in the face, right? The one walker.
Last
That
episode?
was-
Or
I think I missed the last episode. So.
He shot him in the face, but it didn't kill him.
Right, yeah.
This episode, they took him to trade him for Travis and.
It didn't kill the brainstem.
Right.
Yeah, shot him in the side. It kind of blew off the side of his face. So, I mean, I don't know if something happened that I missed. Maybe that was it. But yes, Gotham guy, Chris likes the dead and wants to feed mommy to the dead, apparently.
Step mommy.
And I mean, I don't know if he wanted to see somebody get eaten up close, if he felt like Madison's a threat. I mean, because there was that little bit about, the guy saying your family's not your family. These people will turn on you.
Yeah.
And really, for Chris, everyone's gone that's in his family except for Dad. Because the stepsister is stepsister, stepbrother is stepbrother, and stepmom is stepmom. The only blood he's got left is Dad. That's it.
No.
So, I mean, it may be that that's coming into play, that somebody heard them talking, and, maybe Nick heard more than he said.
Well,
that he heard.
apparently the girl heard something he'd said, or
Yeah.
seen something he had did, and that's why he attacked her the way he did, was saying, you can't tell nobody, don't say nothing to nobody.
Well, she saw him pause when Madison got attacked. So Gotham Guy says, on the boat, she told Travis she did not believe Chris when he said not Jesse Eisenberg, Jesse McCartney. Jesse McCartney was going to turn. Madison thinks Chris killed him in cold blood. Which I think we all agree that's probably what happened.
She saw it.
She saw it. Okay, so again, we may have missed some things. We need to pay better attention, maybe. But she apparently saw it. And Chris sees Madison as threatening him due to it. Yeah, she did see it. So Madison saw him kill Jesse McCartney, whatever his name was in the show, and knows that he wasn't about to turn, and so it's turned into a thing. So now, is Chris crazy enough to let Madison get killed? I mean, it's one thing, to kill her, because it's one thing to let the zombies bite her, which clearly he was standing there just like fingering the knife while he watched her get attacked. But did he go into the bedroom in order to kill her?
Weird look in his face.
I think he was about to try to take them both out.
He had a weird look in his face.
Well, because so you can't really predict psychos, but he went and picked up the knife and he was just standing there. Like, it wasn't as if he made a move towards them or anything. In fact, it looked like he was getting the knife in order to leave, but then the gunshot went off and woke everybody up.
Pirate McCartney.
Gotham Guy says Pirate McCartney, yes. In fact, I'm going to refer to him as Pirate McCartney from now on. Flash says that's why he wanted, why at the end he wanted to kill her, because she saw him. Okay, so I think that's, I don't know what's going on with Chris. I don't know if he's as crazy as he seems, or if he, Gotham guy said he tried to feed Madison and Alicia the communion wafers. Did he? I didn't see that either.
I didn't see that either.
Well, I mean, I saw
I had to run back and forth 3 times too. So.
I missed that part too. I didn't see that.
The only 2 wafers that we saw were the ones
Strand and Tom.
that Cecilia got ready for Tom and Abigail, and then they didn't use, clearly. That's what he grabbed, an empty tray that should have had wafers. I mean, that might
okay, we missed that part.
Yeah. But, yeah, because I think the only 2 wafers we saw outside the church were the ones at Tom, and that's when Daniel came up and said, "Oh my God, you poisoned all those poor people down there."
People.
Yeah. And
what is her deal?
So, I think that what happened is that the people who work on the plantation there know how safe it is, and they know that they're the trusted servants. The folks down in the village, though, are a threat, because they also know how safe the place is, and they might want to come in. So you poison the communion wafers, you have the priest go down and do communion, and what I'm realizing is I wasn't here for the communion part. It may have just been a regular communion.
It was a drawn-out thing for about 3 minutes.
Were they doing like
No,
coming
not
up,
really.
coming up and
He was
handing out
talking
wafers?
to the whole congregation.
And then he handed out wafers, right?
Yeah.
So was it in Spanish?
Yeah.
All right, so it was probably just communion. He was just doing communion, but she had poisoned the communion wafers, so they all died. So I think that she did that to get rid of all the threatening people there.
She's weird, man.
The priest talked like he knew, though.
Yeah.
He acted like he knew
That everybody was going to die?
Yeah.
Maybe he did, because
she was also talking like this is the next stage of life.
Right.
This is God's plan.
Yeah, like why is she so hell-bent on, what she tell Daniel, get used to your maker or get...
Did you shoot him in the head?
Yeah.
Then I'm not mad. That's basically what she said. Because to her, that he's still living.
So Gotham Guy says she feels the dead are always among us, as per most Catholic Mexican religions, yes. With the dead now being seen and walking among us. Sorry, Gotham Guy, your comment got cut off there. We don't have anybody who's got access to... Okay, there we go. So she feels the dead now truly walk with us and should be cared for as it's their dead departed loved ones return to life. So, I mean, that's an interesting twist that we haven't dealt with in this, is that people, religious people who believe that resurrection is going to happen and or that the dead are always with us, when you see the face of your loved one, I mean, what we were dealing with Morgan for so long, that he couldn't shoot his wife because in the end she still looked like his wife. It's interesting that from her perspective, really this is the same people. But what we know, because we're watching from the Walking Dead universe, is that they're not the same people. So I guess in her mind, it's one way or the other. That when they die, we bury their bodies and their spirit walks with us, and now their bodies are actually still walking with us. Gotham Guy says the priest wished to get the people to go kill the evil among them, the dead locked in the jail. So I guess the priest was planning to go kill all of the zombies that were waiting, and Cecile, who couldn't have that happen, killed all the people. And I guess to her, it's not. I think that's what she was explaining to Nick, is that it's not really murder. It's not killing people because
it's the next stage of life.
It's the next stage of life, yeah.
Because he had said to her he was tired of all the killing.
Right, and it's not killing because when people die, they walk among their spirits walk among us. Now this is just their bodies walking among us too, which is a weird twist, but not so weird for us to have a jail full of zombies walking around.
90% of your zombie movies, there's always one that's been kept alive because it was somebody's loved one.
And right now, this episode made me feel like it was the mid-season finale of season 2 of Walking Dead, in a sense.
And I gotta say, going to the well, I understand, I guess, but there was a lot of similarities to that, to the farm. And you can't ignore that. There was a lot of stuff about the safety of the farm area, about how everybody feels like we're finally there, and we're finally going to be okay. But there's a secret going on. It was actually a farm. I mean, there's that. And then they're feeding puppies, apparently, to the zombies to keep them alive.
At least
So,
it's not people.
at least it wasn't people.
Zombie brawl over that little ass puppy, probably.
Now, and I don't know that I guess the zombies would eat a dog, right? Because they'd eaten other animals before. Right, they did chase down anything that's
The horse
alive.
that Daryl tried to save.
Goats, give them the goats.
Poor Bubbles.
Poor Bubbles the horse. And Gotham Guy says cartel zombies. I don't know if we've seen cartel zombies yet. We saw townie zombies, but they're not really cartel zombies.
Not yet.
Right.
Still early yet.
And Flash chimes in also Herschel was super religious, which is true. So both of these families have an older parent who's super religious, who justifies what they're doing with religion. They live on a farm. They are telling everybody it's a safe place. And they justify everything that they do by saying, I'm protecting my family, including keeping a wine cellar full of zombies, who are not just anybody, it's family members who have died.
So
and we keep them there.
The little boy his mom was in there, wasn't it? The little boy?
Yeah, his
mom was in there.
And what Cecile said, it was all close family members and friends, people who had been serving them for a while. So
what we're really learning here is religion will get you killed.
I think that we can all agree.
Be atheist.
And Gotham Guy says he was not to the point of Cecile, but he was very religious. I think it's just different religion. I think the Catholics and Protestants handle their religion very differently.
Join the religion of Rob.
Fuck it, coming in 2016.
Follow the Rob cult.
But
you won't kill yourself, I promise.
And I mean, maybe for purposes of this would really happen in real life, I could get that. But the similarities are almost too striking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they felt like the season's going a weird place and we need to go to something that we know people are going to like. We know that they like the mid-season finale of season 2. Let's go there to that same feeling.
Because that's when they started to fool people in,
Right.
really.
And maybe they said, they won't notice, it's okay. And we definitely noticed. So, Flash says, can the party stop giving up weapons for safety? I don't know if... So, here's the thing. If that's a commonality amongst not even just zombie movies, but all movies, including westerns, including everything is always, when you get to a safe place, give up your weapons. And that's because people are more dangerous to each other than the outside world is to them, generally speaking.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And
even in the real world.
Even I think that everywhere that's true. So, it's... Even when you watch, like, what was that American Gangster with Denzel Washington? When they have a sit-down, which, by the way, American Gangster is based on a true story. When they have a sit-down, everybody leaves their guns at the door. The reason they do that is because you're going to take a petty slight and end up shooting everybody in the place because people are more dangerous to each other than they are. And Flash, it never works, but it never works because it's a motivating factor towards what happens next. Gotham Guy says it looks to be a warped twist of season 2. The farm meets Terminus minus the cannibalism. I don't know that the cartel farm is the same as Terminus.
Something tells me they're not growing oranges, though.
Yeah, well, I
A
mean,
little bit of yayo.
they could have a lot. Well, it's a little far north for anything other than. I mean, they might have some agave to make tequila, but nothing is really going to grow up in Baja California. Maybe some pot, but that's it. You don't get cocaina in Mexico. That's further south.
Cuba.
But I don't know that it's as dangerous as Terminus, because I feel like Terminus was more a result of 4 or 5 years of living in the world, of being in this world, and this is what happens when people just kind of devolve. But this is more of a matriarch of clearly a cartel who is used to having power, and for her, I don't know that life has changed that much. I think for Cecile, a lot of things have just kind of continued on. She kind of says that death is a part of life.
She's not looking at anything any different than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's all been
Gotham Guy says they didn't do it at Pirates Cove, and the violent fights broke out. So, and I mean that's part of it, Flash. But they knew the people were sitting down within. These new people are complete strangers. Gotham Guy says Terminus was a very cult-minded place. Cecile seems to have that mixed with a dash of religious fervor. I think that there's an important difference between cult-like behavior and religious people who fall back on their religion in times of trials and tribulations. Like, the owl and the little thing looks really cult-like, but it is very much Catholicism, central Catholicism.
Burning the candles.
Burning candles, cat's Catholic. Going in and kneeling down and praying to an item is just Catholicism. And I think that people fall back on religion. Yes, Flash, all religion is a cult in one way or another. But,
I agree.
But I think it's falling back on religion with the way that Terminus was much more of a, we do these things like sacrificing, having all the men go and lean over the goddamn killing floor pit and bashing them in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cult behavior. Whereas, going and praying to the owl god or the owl statue is way more religious than it is cult-like. So, I guess shifting away, that's what's going on with Daniel. Speaking of the owl statue, because Ophelia takes Nick out there, and a little bit of a sidebar, I guess. This is a lesson for all women. Guys will do whatever it takes to get laid. Mercedes looks good in the show. We caught just the beginning of The Talking Dead. Mercedes Mason is a hot piece of ass, let me tell you. Whatever makeup artist was doing, you're right. She did a flawless job. She looks fantastic. She's a little old. She's a little old for my taste, but that's all right. But a guy will do whatever it takes to get laid, including going out so that you can talk to your dead mother at a religious shrine. And Nick follows her out there. Gotham Guy says, "Hoot hoot, owl." The picture's hung up on it of the zombies in the jail. There's a conversation going on in the comments. If you are not following along with us in the live stream comment section, you're missing out on a whole conversation. That's youtube.com/c/DirtyShoreUG-OTA. Make sure you're following at DirtyShoreUG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook so that you can get the link live. And make sure you go ahead and favorite Dirty Shore UG on Twitter to make sure that pops up every time that we send out a link. But, I think that, so Nick wants to get laid, clearly. Ophelia's kind of putting it out there that she's feeling him too, in a way. And Nick, as much as we hated Nick at the beginning, Travis kind of makes the point that he's come around. Travis had faith in him because Madison had faith in him, and he's come through. And I think Ophelia didn't know necessarily how bad he was at the very beginning, but I think she's coming around too. But Nick is the perfect example of, like, okay, what do I have to do to get laid? We got to go out and talk to your dead mom? Sure, let's go talk to your dead mom. All right, I don't care. On my knees, yeah. Looking at an owl thing that gives me flashbacks to the moment that all this kind of shit kind of started going down. Sure, whatever it takes. Can I please get laid? So, but nonetheless, so Daniel seems to be having a bit of a Rick-like breakdown. And I had said in previous episodes that I thought Daniel was going to be like Rick. And in this bit of a season, he's gone through about 3 seasons of Rick's transformation. Mm-hmm. From badass to kind of a pussy, and I'm hoping he gets back to the badassness. But what is it about wives and hearing your dead wives?
I don't know. After seeing Daniel sneaking around the plantation, I think he figured something was up from the get-go, and that's why he was like, yeah, just tell him I'm tired.
Yeah.
Because right after that, we seen him sneaking around the grounds.
So you think that he is not in as bad of a state as he appears? That he's really just putting on?
I think he had the flashback due to the kid, but I don't think it was anything real major.
And did you catch on to what that flashback was?
The war.
Yeah.
War flashback.
Which makes you feel really bad, because that means, he was obviously killing some kids back when in the war, whatever war he was in. So
I'm sure a lot of people did in Vietnam.
Yeah, that wasn't Vietnam though. That was Nicaragua.
Either one.
Totally different areas of the world. Totally different conflicts. Geography, not
same shit, different part of the world.
Flash says Travis needs to be bad at something. He's too good at everything. I don't think he's great at anything, though. He's just okay out of a lot of stuff. And I can relate to that. It's being a jack of all trades. But the other side of that people don't say often enough is that you're a master of none. You're not really great at anything. You're just kind of good at a lot of stuff. I think we've seen a lot of Travis, and he can figure stuff out, but he's not shown that he's really great at anything. So,
one particular thing, anyway.
Well, so
jack of all, master of none.
Right, but Travis. Daniel. Daniel. I think that maybe you're right. Maybe he's putting on a little bit. That he had a moment, and he's using that moment to manipulate everyone into being able to fly under the radar a little bit, so he can go check things out and see what's up. I'm hoping, anyway. So hopefully we see a little bit more of that Rick-like behavior. And in the comments section of the video, they're kind of talking about who is who in the... I don't know that there's that straight of a connection between the characters of the two shows, but certainly you want to make sure that you join us, youtube.com/c/DirtyShowUG-OTA for the live stream of the podcast. Gotham Guy says, Daniel, maybe a tad ill, but not ill or not bad ill or Chris ill. The flashback that shows he may have PTSD and other issues due to the war. Yeah, I think it's going to be a crazy off between Daniel and Chris. One of them's going to snap and something bad's going to happen. And I guess the question is, who snaps first, really? That's what it comes down to.
Kenny?
What?
Are you still podcasting?
Yeah.
Come here real quick.
So it's going to be a crazy off between those two. I guess we'll have to see.
You better get your fucking friend before I crush this whole entire world. What? Spence, he's being a fucking asshole just as post. And I will crush his fucking world, I don't care.
Drama-rama.
Total drama on tonight's episode.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, Ken.
Oh, what was it? Where were we? I don't even remember. Daniel, sneaking around, getting a little intelligence. So let's talk a little bit about the people that we lost today. So we lost Luis. We talked about him a little bit. What do you think that Abigail's... Is his name Tom? Tom. Right? Tom's loss is going to do to Strand. We saw a totally different Strand this episode than we have seen at all before.
Like, his whole attitude changed.
Yeah. As soon as he saw that truck and he recognized the truck, he went from being like, badass, this is my boat, get the fuck off my boat, to...
Let's save everybody.
Oh my god, where is he? You know? So...
Even when he was with him and talking to,
yeah.
The chick, what's her name?
Madison, yeah.
Talking to Madison, you know, he was like, thank you. He was actually being, decent to her. We're on the boat, and he was a real douche, excuse my language.
Well, and I think that it goes down to, when you are missing somebody that you care about, all of this, nothing else matters.
Yeah,
he really just wanted to get back there. And as soon as he saw the truck and he knew that it was like, okay, I'm going to get there, we're going to do this thing, that he felt different. And then, of course, finding out that the person you care about is sick certainly doesn't help.
Yes.
Gotham Guy says, Strand is also going against Celia. He said he'd die with Thomas, but chose not to and killed Zombie Thomas. Mom's not going to be happy that he killed Zombie Thomas. So we'll see how that goes. And he also is obviously saying, after saying he would die with him and choosing not to, I'm not sure Mama's going to like that either. Because now we've set up a power struggle between those two. So, we'll have to see, but I don't know.
They screwed up and they gave up all their weapons already, so...
But Daniel, I get the sense from Daniel that he knows what's going on, and he'll know where he needs to go to get more weapons, and I don't know if there's anybody there who could fight them off if they really needed to do it. I haven't seen a lot of warriors there.
No.
I've seen a lot of servants. That's really what it is.
Yep.
And, we haven't... The comment was made earlier about cartel zombies. I haven't seen any cartel members there at all. I've seen servants, really. That's it.
Mostly women.
And mostly women. Women and children, really, are the only ones who are left.
There was the one dude that you see is the one sitting outside of Tom's room when Strand first goes in.
Right.
Other than that, it's female.
Everything. Flash said Mama Bear is going to snap don't trust anything coming out of the kitchen. That's going to be interesting because
Don't trust anything coming out of the kitchen anyway.
if Mama's cooking for everybody, we already know she likes her poisons. The only way she could really get to everybody is to poison them. So there's a thought there.
To go one further, don't eat anything in the kitchen because she might have put poison in everything.
You never know.
If they decide to cook for herself, dead.
Never know what is this thing. Never know what to expect from that. So what else? Any other points looking forward? Well, before we go any further, Flash has joined us for the episode. Flash is want to go ahead and promote the Anthem Alliance podcast. This podcast is a proud member of the O The Anthem digital network. Other podcasts on the network include the O The Anthem podcast, new episodes of that podcast every Tuesday, and the Anthem Alliance, our new program. It's available every Friday. We are very happy to bring all of this programming to you, and obviously there is costs associated with all of that. The best thing you can do to help us out is to donate to the Patreon page at patreon.com/O The Anthem. That's patreon.com/O The Anthem. It's a fundraising website. It helps to support us, helps to keep our lights on, helps to keep getting new equipment, it helps to do the pay for all the websites and everything else that we have to do. So if you like the program that we put out, this podcast comes out 2 times a week. Now we have basically new programming out 4 of the 7 days a week, and all of that's free for you. The best way you can do to help us out is to go to patreon.com/O The Anthem and to donate there. And yes, Flash wants everyone to come out and join the Alliance. So look for Anthem Alliance on all your social networks and join in and become part of the conversation there. So what else do we have going on from this episode looking forward to apparently the mid-season finale, which I don't think any of us was expecting. I don't know if Hardwick misspoke, but he did say mid-season.
The IMDb page said there's 15 episodes. So.
Good. So yeah, so the mid-season finale. So it means 7 on the front side, 8 on the back side, I guess, right? So what are we expecting for next week, moving forward? Any thoughts?
Somebody else is gonna die.
Well, and so, there's always a lot of death in the season, or the mid-season finale, or the season finale. But we lost a lot of people.
And if nothing else, Nick fucks a zombie in season 3.
Okay, so there's something.
If he hasn't already, we don't know.
So Gotham Guy says Celia and Chris on one side, everyone else on the other, except Travis, who'd split the middle. I sense that if Celia has any time to talk to Chris, she is going to see a lot of potential in Chris. Because, in the end, if he's not feeling like family's important, and obviously to her, to Mama, family is nothing but important. So I think that's definitely a direction that they'll go. She may have a chance to draw Chris over. And of course that'll put Travis in the middle between the two. I definitely, Flash, agree with you that I think that we're building up to this 2-sided team. That it'll be Strand and whoever stands with him, and Cecile and everyone who stands with him. Yeah, Gotham Guy, next week is the mid-season finale, apparently. So, looking forward to that and seeing what else is happening. So who do you expect is going to be lost? I mean, part of me says Chris. You get caught in the bedroom with a knife.
I think the girl's going to pretend to want to have sex with him and shank his ass.
And I was going to say, weren't they flirting a few episodes ago?
To get something going there, but...
Yeah, literally 2 or 3 episodes ago, they were flirting, and it seemed like things were going to get a little weird. Because, again, they've been living together for a little while as brother and sister.
As you're saying, again, they're borderline siblings, as far as step siblings.
And I don't think that they've established how long that family had been together, but they seemed pretty comfortable. So I would imagine it had been some time. But they were flirting or whatever. So you think that what's her name? Alicia is going to set him up and then kill him? Yeah, because she doesn't see the type.
She already fears for her life, so why the hell not? I think she's got it in her.
Well, I certainly think something's going to come to a head when it comes to Chris. It can't be continue the way that it's going.
It's going to cause problems between Madison and Travis.
And obviously, we already saw the beginning of that with them fighting. Although those two fight all the time too, because that's what married couples do.
It's all about Madison anyway, so.
Also, Flash does also have to talk about what Chris was doing in the bedroom. Yeah, sorry, a little bit of a delay on the comments there. We missed that. Family matters to Chris, and he feels Madison and Alicia betrayed the family, Chris, or himself, so he doesn't count them as family. And I think that's why Cecile's message of family and religion is going to play really well to Chris. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Ophelia and Nick, something going to happen there or no?
One way or another.
Meaning Nick's going to force it?
I think it's getting
I'm
to that
saying whether
point.
she's alive or dead.
Oh, good lord.
It's getting to that point.
I mean, we know he don't mind being covered in blood.
You just want some weird zombie sex to happen.
That's all he's talked about for the last 5 minutes.
I call into question your sanity when you want the zombie sex. You have some weird fetishes.
I think it would be different.
That you ask the girlfriend to lay in a bathtub full of ice, and then, or when I have sex, just lay really still, don't move, try not to breathe. Weirdo. And then right when I'm about to come, I want you to open your eyes and go and try to bite me on the neck.
Yeah, try to eat me up.
Gotham Guy says step siblings, but yeah, it seemed odd. Chris may have been serious, but Alicia seemed to be joking and unsure of what's going on. Everybody in the comment section seems to agree that Chris has a very Norman Bates feel about him right now. And it,
Mommy?
yeah, I think that's perfectly, that might be a good comparison.
Is Kenny like Tina from Bob's Burgers? Yes, Flash, yes.
Yes.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Bob's Burgers?
No.
Yeah, so Tina writes erotic fiction about
Yes.
zombies. So, yes, you're
Gotham Guy even
100%
said
Tina.
yes.
Yeah, everybody's in agreement. Kenny is now Tina from Bob's Burgers.
I'm
That's what
just
we're
not
gonna
allowed to think outside the box. Y'all are some assholes.
do. We're the assholes. Yeah, I'm sure.
We're not the ones looking for zombie sex.
Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen with the cellar full of zombies? Because Daniel seems to be a problem solver, and
He's gonna chain it and bust it open and try to take him out, and somebody's gonna die.
I was going to say, so is that, because I sense that that's what it's going to be, that he's going to do something there and release all of those zombies, and that's what's
Although
going
it's
to
an
be
open cage, so you can kind of just.
Right. I was going to say, we saw them at the fence.
It's going to
doing the
come
same
to
thing.
Cecilia first.
Well, he already did, and he talked to her about
That's
it.
what I mean. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's going to come to her first before he goes to that cage and does anything. I think, or he may just say, and then go straight to the cage, and this is what's going to happen, and you're going to like it, Cecilia.
And all hell will break loose after that. So a lot to go, a lot to happen. Maybe I think the thing I like most at this point is
Little bounce in the box.
the thing I like at this point. I think is whatever happens next week is going to set up the second half of the season. But I have no idea where they're going to go. I mean, they've gotten to where we have been looking for them to get all along. So what happens next is totally an open book, and we have no idea. This is Negan with Lucille all over again, where basically the whole world is open. And I guess we'll see who survives next week, or maybe not. Maybe we'll be left with those kind of Glenn-like cliffhangers about did they die, didn't they die, what's going on. So we'll have to see. Flash asks, do we have a date for the second half? Did you see that on there?
No.
My guess would be that they may run before the next half of The Walking Dead, which starts in October. So they may...
last season they went off it the week before Walking Dead came.
Right.
This could be just like a little month break or something.
And I was gonna say it may be that we have this when from the calendar year.
Preacher starts next week, so it'll probably come back after Preacher.
Right after Preacher, right. So I mean,
depending on how long Preacher runs, if that comes on right after it, it would end right in October.
Right. So looking at the calendar year, I guess we would have Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Preacher, Fear the Walking Dead, Walking Dead. And it would kind of just rotate through like that. So,
Go. Bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Kendall, go to the bathroom. Go.
ooh.
Also, there's Feed the Beast.
Right, and I think Feed the Beast is running at the same time as the Preacher, or the end of Fear the Walking Dead, and I mean, basically, I think AMC is running a bunch of new stuff over the summertime to try and find out what their next big show is going to be. So I guess we'll have to see.
Not to get off topic, Gotham Guide said that this is his place where he thrashes Kenny /
Yeah.
Tina.
Yeah. And the guy also says with Ross being a mob person, I definitely don't get Ross as the mob guy. I can't understand any of that at all. He will always be Ross Geller to me. So, not a lot of movies for the. It's not the American Movie Channel anymore, Flash. It's AMC. So that's totally different. But so a lot going on, a lot to expect. So I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens next week in the season finale or the mid-season finale, and then we'll have a little bit of a break until the fall. So
It should be AZC now.
AZC, American Zombie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we will be here as always. So make sure you follow along. New episodes of the podcast are available on Thursdays. Bonus episodes every Mondays or Tuesdays. So make sure you're going to DirtyShoreUnderground.com for the newest episodes of the podcast. And hey, while you're there, click through the Amazon link. It'll take you to Amazon. You can shop just like you normally do, but as a thank you, Amazon gives us a little something. It's a great other way to support this podcast directly. And of course, there'll be a bunch of interesting stuff in the show notes, so make sure you check that out. And make sure you're following at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's the easiest way to get the most up-to-date information from us. We live stream, as always, youtube.com/C/Dirty Shore UG -OTA. Make sure that you are following along there as well, and join us for the live streams of the podcast. If you are following on social media, you'll see us tweet out a message about the live stream for the full episode this week, so make sure you join us for that. You can find me on our social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for more information about me, for links to my political blog, for the news website, for how to join on my mailing list, and for the books which are available on Amazon. So make sure you check those out as well. Again, we are a proud member of the Year of the Anthem podcast, so make sure you check out new episodes of the Year of the Anthem podcast every Tuesday, and all that more information available at odanthem.com and at odanthem on our social networks. So, I think that covers everything. Is that everything?
Vape products.
So hopefully you'll be hearing more about that on the podcast in the coming weeks. So make sure you join us for that. Anything else?
Good.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
All right. So join us again later on this week for a new episode. Until then, have a great week, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
That was a interesting.